So welcome to the Buttery Males podcast, everyone. I'm one of your hosts, Jacob Boyer. Joined with me, as always, is my other host, Jake Demansky. How are you doing, Jake?
I'm good, thank you. And with us, as always, he doesn't want to be called a host anymore. I guess, permanent guest of the podcast,
Resident guest.
Rob Morris. Rob Morrissey.
Yep.
Yep.
This way. Hi. Thank you for having me. This is. I think this is really. It's good for the podcast because, like, everyone knows podcasts that get guests, they come off as more like successful.
Oh,
so
yeah. No,
you guys are getting a guest every single week. I mean, that's Joe Rogan level.
It
right?
may be the same guest. You may be the Brendan Schaub to our Joe Rogan, but it is a guest nonetheless.
Yeah, or like when Brian Redband just like stayed on the podcast as guest host after they hired Jamie for like 200 episodes before he got the picture that Joe was like abandoning him.
There's this hilarious video. I forget who the guest was, but it's Joe Rogan, Brian Redband, and someone else. And Joe Rogan and Redband get into like a fight over like a loud argument over like stand-up comedy, and it's so uncomfortable. Like they goes on for like
neither
30
of them
minutes.
are funny. Like neither of them are good at stand-up comedy.
That's I think Joe Rogan can have his moments, but Brian Redband just fucking sucks. But the point being is that Redband is talking about like, yeah, I'm getting better. I'm like doing all these clubs and stuff. Like and he says something that Rogan disagrees with, and then he like latches onto that and like won't let go. And like to the point where like the guest and Joe Rogan start a new conversation and like talk about it for like 5 minutes, and then Redband like cuts in to be like, yeah, Joe, fuck you for saying that thing earlier, and like just derails it. It's so fucking cringy.
Thinking he's waited the appropriate amount of time that like he's kind of funny, but he's super serious about it.
Exactly.
This is like an old Joe Rogan episode where he didn't have the setup like how he has now.
It's around that same time where Jamie became like a permanent fixture. Like
so like 400 or 500,
something like that.
I remember that video, and I thought, I was like, this is just disgusting behavior on Joe Rogan's part. Like I don't. You just see him like absolutely going fucking nuts over this dumb shit. It's disgusting. It looks really.
He's a truth sayer. I mean,
he's
Joe
a
Rogan
truth
is
sayer.
Joe Rogan walks in the truth. What can we say?
The truth sayer and a soothsayer.
He's like a shaman. He's like a future tech punk shaman. Yeah.
He would guide you on a DMT trip to the astral, my man.
He's. I might start listening to him again because it's not that I was getting smarter when I was watching him, but I felt like I was getting smarter, and just that confidence boost alone, I think, is missing from my life. So
I started watching him again. No joke.
Yeah,
I'll leave.
Yeah, I'm not serious. I'm trying to make a joke.
I watched Michio Kaku on, and I think that guy's like a crazy guy, and does some cool stuff. And I wanted to hear it, and I got like 10 minutes into the episode before I got to work, and that was 3 weeks ago, and I haven't gone back to that.
Have you guys ever seen? I feel like
your job. Joe Rogan freed you. He like red pilled you on the spot.
I'm wearing MAGA stuff now.
No, I mean no, not like. Oh, come on. I mean like red pill, like the movie, where you're like, fuck this corporatized nonsense. I don't need this employment. I don't need to put 40 hours a week into paying my bills.
That's what I thought.
I'll be a computer hacker.
Have you ever seen that video where they've just edited 2 different angles of Joe Rogan talking to himself?
Yes,
very funny.
Joe Rogan. It's so
funny.
Good.
It's so good.
Where they just start talking about chimpanzees and they Google search Bert Kreischer.
It's another guy who I never thought was funny ever.
But really? I think Bert Kreischer. He's definitely dumb. But I don't know. I think he also has more. He's funnier than Joe Rogan. I think for sure.
I think he does funny things and I don't know if he does it on purpose or not. But he's like a goofy fucking guy who He might like fall down or something, and I'll think that's really funny.
He's straight up a Facebook dad. Is the weirdest thing that he like. That's his brand of comedy at this point. I feel like it's like aimed at almost specifically like 40-year-old Gen Xers who, you know, they're like halfway through paying their mortgage. They have 3 kids now, and they're like, it's a date night thing. Like, I feel like a lot of the people, when you look at some audiences, Bert Kreischer's audience is fully like couples going out to see him. There's definitely some groups of like the boys, you know, getting back together with keg. You know, they got a keg out in the parking lot. Like, there's that vibe, I'm sure. But those guys are also 40. Yeah, like those guys also have kids, except their wife, like all their wives collectively didn't want to come, so they all went, you know, together.
He had a vlog for a while that was like pretty funny, like mostly like in that like he was like trying to like do the whole like YouTube thing, and he wasn't doing it well. He was like editing it himself, which I appreciate, because like I hate the whole like Will Smith starts a YouTube channel, but you know that there's like a team of cameramen and editors and all that. But like with this, you could tell this was like just you could tell that this was just Bert Kreischer with his iPhone, and like half the time the vlogs would just end with like he found like a 2-second clip that he thought was funny, and then he would play it and then play it in reverse and just have it loop back and forth like that forever, and like that and like
that's kind of funny though.
Well, funny in the sense
that's
where it's like
literally the beginning stages of editing.
That's
like,
that's
what
you
can just reverse clips and put them next to each other.
That's what I'm saying, is that what I find funny about that,
honey.
Yes, that's what I find funny about that, is because I'm imagining him like on iMovie or something, realizing that he could do that, and then being like, "Oh my god, this is so fun!" And then I get that second
and also be like, "Now I don't have to fill it." I just turned a 2-minute clip into a 4-minute clip, just like that. I'm a wizard. I'm a fucking wizard.
Slow-mo this part where I blinked weird, honey. Look at this.
Yeah, and I zoomed in.
Didn't Bert Kreischer get started by kind of being like a crazy college frat bro guy who
Rolling Stone
just drank a lot or something?
Yeah, Rolling Stone profiled him, and then rumor has it that the producers of Van Wilder based Van Wilder off of that Rolling Stone article. And
is that a rumor? Because I swear to God I've heard Bert on a Joe Rogan podcast claim he got paid for that.
I think he was paid to be quiet about that. I don't know that that studio. I don't know that.
That's actually way cooler.
I don't know that
Van Wilder.
I don't know that the studio came out and said, yeah, that was based on Bert Kreischer, but like he's said for sure, oh yeah, they totally did, and I don't know. So yeah, but
Bert
all that
and Ryan Reynolds, they look exactly alike.
And Ryan Reynolds,
they're so sexy, both of them.
Yeah.
It's I guess it may be worth reading the Rolling Stone article to see. I don't know.
It's a great magazine, Rolling Stone.
Oh,
it's really good, man. I can't put it down when I pick it up.
Are they paying us yet? Like, what are you doing?
Are they paying us yet?
No, I'm not. It's definitely not because it's like, worth reading. I mean, I think that Johnny Depp reporter was published on Rolling Stone, and that article sucks. But yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, think of it this way: without the Rolling Stone, Hunter S. Thompson wouldn't be as popular as he is today. And if Hunter S. Thompson
he shouldn't be.
And if
maybe
Hunter,
he
let me finish. And if Hunter S. Thompson wasn't as popular as he is today, then the Rum Diary would have never been made into a movie. And if the Rum Diary had never been made into a movie, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard never would have met.
This is
Rolling
right,
Stone.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's science. That's the ripple effect.
Yeah. Got to go back in time.
I guess I just am like trying to like when I watch Rum Diary, I just feel like that can't be a Hunter S. Thompson story. It's just, you know, yikes, they picked the wrong one. I guess the original Fear and Loathing movie, well, I guess the only one, did not do well. So
what, the Terry Gilliam one?
Is that with Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro. I thought that one did really well.
Oh, I like it. I'm pretty sure it was a commercial failure.
But yeah, it definitely became like a cult classic for sure.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, come on. I don't think it's I doubt it's made its money back.
There's a great moment in the commentary where it's Hunter. It's one of the DVD had several commentaries. One of them was Hunter S. Thompson with like his publicist and some other like producer woman who was involved in the movie, and the two women are doing most of the talking, and Hunter S. Thompson is just kind of mumbling his way through the whole thing. But there's a great moment in the beginning because Tobey Maguire plays that hitchhiker character that they pick up, and the two producer women, because this is recorded like late 90s, early 2000s. The two producer women are like, and there's Toby, yeah, he went on to be Spider-Man, and Hunter's like, oh, what? And and the producer's like, yeah, Hunter, that's Tobey Maguire. He's gonna be in that new Spider-Man movie coming out. Awkward pause, and Hunter's like, oh yeah, he seems really spidery, kind of. And like whatever that
scary.
Spidery.
Spidery.
Yeah, like whatever that means.
So wacky. Oh yeah, I can see that. He looks
kind of like a spider. Choice. Yeah, I can see that.
I thought I saw him shoot a web on the set. I don't know.
Oh man. But yeah, speaking of Tobey Maguire, yeah, what?
Hold on, before you go into a transition.
Yeah,
no, really good,
go
really
for
good.
It. Take it away.
Today at work, was sitting at this involves spiders.
Okay.
So I'm like watching, I have some like cryptocurrency or whatever, and I'm watching like it went up today. Who cares? But I'm sitting there. I just ask like to everyone in the break room. I'm like, does anyone have any financial advice they feel like giving me? This one new guy who's like this big like purebred Italian guy who's from Jersey. We just hired him. He said to me, he's like, need to invest in spiders. 100% serious. And I was like, what does
that mean?
Like,
yeah.
I mean like actual spiders? And he's like, spiders. You need to invest in spiders. My friend put $1,000 in spiders. 3 months later, he got $3,000. And I'm like, is this a company? And he's like, look it up, spiders. And I'm like, is this a company or is this the arachnid spiders? What are you talking?
Invest
and like,
in the
as
concept
I'm asking,
of spiders.
Yeah.
This man is like so in that like Jersey Italian lane that he will not stop going on about what his friend has made from spiders.
Yeah.
He will not elaborate on what it is as I'm asking him multiple times, what is this? So he's like, type in spiders. And I'm like, where?
Type
like,
in spiders. You're going to have a hard time.
It's like, you're going to need a Fidelity account or whatever. And I was like, I have a Robinhood portfolio.
Spiders.
He was like, type in spiders. I type in spiders and nothing, of course. There is not a thing. And then I type in SPID. Like, just get those 4 letters out thinking that acronym's going to work. There is some sort of spider company. It's not... I show it to him. I'm like, is this it? Is this the spiders you're talking about? And he was like, I don't know. I got to ask my friend.
God damn. He had no... Look it up, and he had no... I'm telling you, dude, if you put it into Google and pulled up a picture of a spider, he would have been like, that's it. That's what my friend put his money
It's like cycling through pictures of spiders. And he's like, yeah, even better. You got to go with the brown recluse. That's where you get your most money back.
The more the venom.
Floridians are fucking crazy, man.
Do we, while we're talking about work, because I feel like we have to go into this now, but just because I'm going to ask this question, but was this Ray? Who told you to invest in spiders? Do we want to...
No, remember, Ray has been working there for like what seems like an eternity, even though we just heard about his existence.
Do we want to go into the saga that is Ray?
Yes.
Or do we want to save that for another episode?
So there was a guy at work. Well, there is a guy. He's not dead or anything.
No.
Can I just say that
ambiguous.
this was the hardest that I have laughed in a long time. Was experiencing this entire story over Discord over a period of like 4 hours.
Jacob and I listened to what you're about to hear live as it happened, and we really should have recorded it, but we didn't. And now Jake is just on trial for the rest of time.
Not really. It's kind of all resolved. But,
so give us, give us the story, Jake.
Good content. Who knows what's happening? I have a coworker named Ray, and I walked into the break room when it wasn't break time, and I see this guy Ray, like kind of hiding, like it literally says on the side of it a ice cream sundae kit, and I don't know if he bought this or if he put together this sundae kit.
Was it like a shoebox or like what was it?
It was a long rectangular box that would have had a fucking like latch on it, or I don't know. But anyway, inside of this box there were like, it was like methodically made. Like there were jars, little mini jars of like Reese's cups chopped up. There was like mini chocolate chips. There was a jar of sprinkles. There was a jar of like coconut shavings. There was chocolate syrup, little bottles of chocolate syrup, little bottles of caramel. And I walked in and I said, "Oh, hey Ray, is that yours?" And he looked at me like I caught him doing something like really bad or something, like basically like he was caught jacking off. And he looked at me and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Is that yours?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Where do you keep that? Do you keep that here?" He's like, "Yeah, and he's such a nice guy. He just kind of told me what was up. He's like, "Yeah, this is mine, and I hide it up in the cabinet behind the napkins." And
it's such a funny thing. Like, it's if you get caught with ice cream, it's not like you can be like, "No, fuck off." Like, there's no like real way to just keep the secret at that point, right?
Right. So Ray is such a nice guy, though. He's like, "Do you want a sundae? I'll make you a sundae." I said, "No, I'm fine, Ray. Don't worry. You have at it." And I'm in a call with these guys and a bunch of other people. And I eventually run into who is my supervisor at work. And I just kind of like genuinely like ask her, because I thought the whole thing was like a little strange and kind of adorable. I was like, "Hey, did you know Ray has like a ice cream sundae kit that he like kind of hides?"
No,
and,
hold on. You said a secret sundae.
A secret sundae.
You know, Ray has a secret sundae kit. He hides behind the napkin.
You described it to every. You described it. Yeah.
So she goes, "Oh yeah, I knew about that." And another side thing, she's like talking to some fellow associate employee of mine who's about to train someone and is told, "Just gonna shadow you. You don't have to talk to him. He's like a shadow."
He's like a shadow. He's just.
And she said it. She kept saying it because we're listening in the whole time, and we're hearing everything that's going around Jake, going on around Jake, like crystal clear. And this woman reiterates 3 to 4 times, "You do not need to speak to this person. They are just a shadow. It's like think of them as a shadow."
It was really weird, and I had to walk away because you guys were going off in the chat, and I was like trying not to be rude, and I was.
It's like simulated.
A lot of laughter.
We were simulating schizophrenia for you, basically.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, that's what Impractical Jokers is.
Very good show. Very good. So I walked away, but then like because you guys gave me shit for like being like, "Yo, you exposed where Ray's secret sundae kit is," like to one of your fellow workers. What are you doing? And I just kind of kept running with the bit. I was like, "No, I didn't." And then I walked up to like fellow employees and I was like, "Hey, do you know about Ray's secret sundae kit? He said we can go and eat his ice cream whenever we want." And I said I was just kidding to them.
The biggest low blow ever. He said that anyone can have it if they want it.
But I ended up doing it to like all of my fellow employees. I was like, "Hey, Ray has a secret ice cream kit. This is where he hides it. He says we can just go take it whenever we want." And I like kind of like just didn't think much of it. But like it's getting close to the end of the day, and I go to clock out, and I see that there is a line in the kitchen, and Ray hasn't left that spot. And he has just been making Sunday after Sunday for all these fucking hyenas who like took my joke, just seriously, so they could get ice cream. And here I am, like, oh fuck, like that's, Ray's too nice to say no to these guys.
Yeah.
So they all were like, "Hey Ray, I heard you had ice cream. Like, make me ice cream."
It was
and
his.
Jacob pointed out that this was probably one of the simple pleasures that he has.
He goes into the break room and like does a very cartoonish like looks around to make sure and like make sure no one's outside the door. Like,
But this was the one day that he was like, I need my Sunday. I'm not going to bother looking. And then it totally bit him in the ass.
Yeah.
It's like, life sucks. You know what makes me happy this Sunday?
Is this Sunday.
I hate this job. I come here every single day, and I can't escape the hell that is the capitalist meat grinder. And this is the one thing I do for myself.
That's like the thing he's so nice he's like wouldn't say, but it's like there's a version of his sadness that somewhat translates to that exaggerated version. So, so he's probably like, today was rough,
Today was rough, but at least I have my Sunday to look forward to at break time.
And I just sent a pack of like fucking savages to just tear up the Sunday. But anyway, as I'm there, I like walk in and I'm like, oh no, like what are you guys doing? And like Ray is like, I know, it's like everybody knows about it.
And you're like, I wonder how they found out.
This is like an hour after you found out, too. And he is just trapped right now. I wonder if he had even made it out of the break room, or if he was like you think he had like gone to do his job and someone tracked him down to be like, I heard you have
the
a secret Sunday kit, and they dragged him to the break room to make them ice cream.
But I love that everyone just insists on, I heard you have a secret Sunday kit, not like I heard that
you said it to everyone. Yeah. You said it to everyone. It was so fucking funny. Truly one of the funniest things I've ever heard go down, and most tragic.
So I'm feeling really bad because he's so nice, he like doesn't even know what's going on. He doesn't even know like I told all these people about this. Like he just thinks they happened to come upon this basically. And he's like, yeah, I'll make you a Sunday, sure, and doesn't know that I told everyone to go get ice cream from him. And so I feel really bad, and I'm like, Ray, I'm gonna like fix this, man. We're gonna find you another hiding spot. I'm gonna like get you like a lock or something. And he's like, oh, okay, like he's just so nice. And
how old
I
is
leave,
Ray?
And Ray is probably like 32.
Okay, because in my head he's like a 60-year-old man, like, on the edge
he's
of
like
retirement.
60.
Yeah.
His wife is out of the picture for some unknown reason. His kids do not call him. Like, that's the man I'm envisioning
like
right
now. The nicest
now.
man who devotes like all of his efforts to work and being friendly, and also, not that this really matters, but it kind of adds like a little bit of adorableness to it. Like, kind of has a rough time speaking English, so like there's just something there that's like I feel extra bad because it's like I don't know why, like it feels like I was being like,
this is your victim, by the way. Like, you're making your victim look so much more vulnerable.
He really is like I feel so bad about this whole thing. Anyway, as I'm leaving work, I hear one of these people who got one of Ray's Sundays say, oh, like he's not in, or when he's not in on this day, I can just get some of that candy. And I said to them, I was like, listen, if you do that, I'll destroy you. All right,
I'll destroy you.
And this chick, like, I kind of said it as a joke, but she like for real thought it was serious. So I had to be like, I'm kidding, but don't take Ray's stuff.
Yeah. Just don't be a bad person.
Because like you had said, he had like some like toppings and candies and all that like are not like available in stores anymore.
Made that up. So I make it be like I even said I was kidding about that, but
I forgot
just thought
that
that'd be funny if they were like
defunct
ruthless,
candies
like,
that he like vintage candy that he had to go
like
search
had in
for.
a vault. Like he's at
Yeah.
a vault
Grandpa
somewhere.
died with like that chocolate in his pocket.
In his pocket, yeah.
And also the
he was
juxtaposition.
fighting in a war.
The juxtaposition of like, I'm imagining like Jake coming up to me and being like, Ray has a secret Sundae kit. You can go get a Sundae whenever you want. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna go get a Sundae. And then 5 minutes later, Jake's like, I will destroy you if I see you near that Sundae kit.
I wonder who else spread it potentially. Like, was there anyone in that line that you did not tell about the secret Sundae kit?
No, it was all people I worked with in our department. But you guys were really making a good point that I was a piece of shit for doing that.
We were constantly shitting on you.
Well, okay, you didn't, like, the thing you were doing is a very funny bit, but at the time, it was just this thing where we're having a great time, but we're also like, you need to stop doing this. Like, this thing you're doing.
Your actions have consequences.
Yeah, hysterical. One of the funniest things that I've ever experienced. Truly, I had a great time listening into that. But yeah, what made it really devastating was all of us just kind of being like getting a payoff on being like, this is a bad thing you're doing.
But
yeah, so like
a true
no
comedic genius, though, you spun it and you made it even funnier.
Just couldn't have, yeah.
Like, no one I worked with really had any idea I was in a call with all these people, including you guys, and so it was kind of like I was doing this bit for you guys, but it was probably so weird to all the people at work.
Directly impacting your day-to-day life for our entertainment.
No one knew what was going on, so it was just I was being a shyster for no reason, really. And you guys were really hammering it in, that. Yeah, I snitched on Ray and this good guy, and everyone really was taking advantage of him. It was all my fault, and I was like, God damn it, I gotta do something to pay Ray back. So I set off to go get him a gift card, 2 gift cards from. Well, I went to go get a birthday present for my mom, and I thought, well, I can get Ray gift cards as well. I actually got him more stuff than I got my mom on her 60th birthday. So I go to Wendy's because I'm hungry on my way to get things for Ray, and
oh my god,
I asked them. I tried talking to the guy. Actually, no. I'll cut that. But I asked the guy at Wendy's. I'm like, hey, I heard you guys have a Ray's Secret Sundae box. Do you still have that here at Wendy's? And this guy very genuinely was like, no. What is that? Not in this Wendy's.
Not in this Wendy's.
You don't have a Ray's Secret Sundae box? No, maybe I don't.
So now that guy is gonna be confused. He's gonna go to every Wendy's and be like, "What was the deal with ours? Why didn't we have Ray's Secret Sundae box?"
Yeah,
killed himself after.
He killed himself.
He was so confused. He was like, "Why are we lesser than?"
He's a really loyal Wendy's employee. He was like, "I put everything in my life into Wendy's. My wife left me. My kids won't call me."
He's like, I did the inventory this morning and I stocked up on everything.
You didn't,
see a Ray's Secret Sundae.
How fucking funny would it be if Ray had also left that day and is like, okay, now it's time for me to go to my second job at Wendy's, working the drive-through intercom, and then Jake gets on the mic.
I don't want to make this such a long story, but I do go to a grocery store to get a gift card for Ray so he can get ice cream or whatever he wants. And as I'm paying for the gift card, I try telling the clerk about the whole thing that happened at work, and
because we were like, tell them why you're doing this. Tell them why you're doing this. We were yelling at you.
Yeah, you guys are like, you have to tell them why you're getting the gift card. So I'm like, my friend Ray, I kind of did him wrong. And he had a secret Sundae spot, and I exposed it. And before I can even say much more, this guy is just not having me say anything. He's just like, you can pay now.
You can pay now.
And so I just quickly paid and got out of there. Then I thought, well, I'll get him a Wawa gift card, which is it's a gas station on the East Coast, and they have treats and stuff, and it's a
you can get like
good place to get candy.
Yeah, like subs and some fried food and whatnot.
Yeah, and so I get this other gift card for him there, and I try explaining to this clerk as well what's going on. The way I started it was I said, ever have a secret Sundae spot?
And that was the funniest fucking shit that I had heard
in
a long time.
And this guy was like so confused too. He was like, "What's going on?" And I tried to explain. Yeah, I did my friend Ray wrong. He had a secret Sundae spot, and I told everyone where it was, and he was like kind of laughing because he was like, "I don't know what to think about any of this."
Yeah.
Here you go, sir. Have a good day. And so it was like this whole thing, and actually, like, Ray is such a nice guy. It's not really a great story. It was better just like
the experience, in being in that
Maybe
call.
This is lame for a podcast, but
no, I think it's hysterical. Other people need to know Ray's plight.
Admittedly, I'm more interested in this as like auditory testimony for the future. I just want to hear you
remember this.
Yeah, I just want to hear you admit to your crimes.
By
the time you went to Wawa, everyone else was kind of like, haha, tell him. But I was like, no, you have to tell him.
Yeah.
I was really super serious about it.
I'm gonna, for the YouTube version, I'll cut together like a JCS style like criminal interrogation video out of this part of the podcast, and I'll hire that voice actor to be like, "This is a technique commonly known as Rob's guilt trip."
But the whole next day, like, Ray comes in as my shift ends. And so I have these gift cards ready, and I'm like talking to you guys again, or I'm talking to Rob actually again. I don't think you were in that call, Jacob.
I wasn't. I wish I was.
I was like explaining to, I was explaining to our friend Andrew about what had happened with Ray in a similar way I told you guys just now, and as I'm doing this, one of my leads is like eavesdropping the whole time I'm like talking about this. He like throws like a layer to the story like I like was unaware of, and it made me actually feel a little worse, but also somehow better. I'm explaining everything, and this guy goes, "No, Ray, that's not Ray's. It is Ray's, but he buys that for all of us. You know how there's also candy in the jar when you come into work? Ray buys that for all of us." And I was like, really? Like, he's that nice of a guy? It's like, yeah, you don't have to do shit for Ray.
What a fucking asshole. What a fucking asshole. That guy fucking sucks.
It's such a funny layer to this whole thing because it calls into question, like, I don't know how long Ray has worked there, but, like, is that chocolate actually for everybody? Or was he just like, I want to have chocolate at work, so I'm going to bring a jar in for me to keep chocolate. And everyone just started grabbing it on, like, just being like, oh, this is just Ray. Ray's just a really cool guy and, like, buys candy for the whole fucking team.
But another funny thing was you guys on the phone were like, he's lying. He's trying to make you feel good. And so, anyway, it comes to the end of the day. I see Ray. And I explain everything to him, and he has no fucking idea about any of this. He's like, what? Oh, that stuff was for you guys. And, like, I don't care. What is this? And I give him, like, $40 in gift cards, and he's like, oh, my God, what is this about? And I'm like, yeah, like, my friends, you know, and I were talking, and, like, I did you wrong, man. I told everyone where your ice cream was. And he's like, that's for everybody. It's fine. And I was like, please just take this. And he was like, okay. And then he walked away, and that was the end of it.
Well, that's then just you paying it forward then. Like, now he's going to go out there and do a good deed. One of these days you're going to go into the break room and you'll find some hot fudge next to the Sundae kit, or like some extra bougie ice cream toppings.
Like, he said it was for all of us, like how that other guy said, who I thought was maybe lying.
I'm telling you, that's a lie. You caught him off guard in a way that. But
what about the fact that Ray said that? What about the fact that Ray said no, that's for all of you?
So you caught him off guard because I had a work experience recently where I realized this girl, maybe I'll tell the story later. But he came in fully with the intention of like I'm gonna give it to this guy. Like I'm gonna tell him every way he did me wrong. And you came in all like willing to admit to your faults as a human being, that you're a bad person, and totally caught him off guard. I'm sure he didn't even expect like the retribution of getting him gift cards to like reimburse him for what you did.
Oh.
And he was just playing it off because he's awkward.
He like had the gun almost out of his waistline.
Exactly. And he realized what you were doing is like like slipped the gun back in his waistband. I'm telling you, Ray's gonna go postal, but you know, I think you've stopped that in the immediacy.
Held it off for a little bit longer, and I just, you know, if one of those savages just happens to take maybe one more Reese's Pieces, that's the pin in the grenade getting pulled. Anyway,
yeah,
that was dumb, but
no, this story really was so funny. You're such
it was one of the funniest things that I had ever been a part of ever. I want the phrase, so have you ever had a secret ice cream kit, to become a regular icebreaker that people use. Have you ever had a secret Sundae kit? I think I had to leave the call because I was laughing so hard when you said that.
The idea of like hiding something at work makes no sense to me. Maybe it's because I work with so many people, but like you couldn't have a secret Sundae kit at my job. Yeah. That shit wouldn't last like half a shift. Like that shit would be gone so fast.
I'm like the inverse of that because we're constantly like doing like news stories and like shows like highlighting like local businesses and whatnot that do food, and then they'll be like, oh well, here, have a bunch of our product as like a thank you for doing this. Like we did a show about the Keystone Snack Company recently. It's like a local like what do you call it, like a vending machine snack food company, and they gave us like a pallet of like this like party mix that had like pretzels and Cheetos and like a bunch of shit in it, and that's lasted like
know what company you're talking about.
Yeah, that shit
fucks with Keystone so hard.
Yeah, and I had like a pack of those every single day for like 2 months, and it was so fucking good. It's
that's
like
bad for you.
Yeah, I know, but like it's at the point at my job where it's like we have like 2 vending machines in the back, and no one ever uses them because we are constantly getting like food from other businesses just randomly dropped off in the break room.
That happens sometimes in my job. Like there are high roller contractors who want to like be cool, and they'll buy us shit or bring stuff in. Actually, so funny. Recently, one of our contractors brought in patillos. I don't know if you guys know what those are, but
no.
I probably wouldn't do them justice describing them, but they're kind of like little like soft shell tortillas that are like kind of shaped like a shell and deep fried. With like they're like, you know,
so
some kind of meat.
So it like retains its shape, but it's still soft.
Yeah, it's like soft and a little crunchy.
Okay,
so good.
Yeah, they're really dope. I love patillos, but so this guy brings them in the other day, and patillos are put down behind our desk, and so at the time there were like 4 of us at the desk who like work at the desk, right? And my buddy I work with and I both go in, and we did not count how many patillos he brought, and we each grabbed 2, and there were 10 in the bag. So right off the bat, already 4 are gone. We don't think anything of it, and no one saw us grab 4 either. So like 2 each. No one saw us, so we were pretty much in the clear. And later, this girl at the desk, Sabrina, eats like 1 patillo. So now there's 5 left, right? And from that point on, in like an hour's time of me being away at the desk, I don't know what happened, but the patillos get whittled down to 1 singular patillo left. And my buddy Alex and I both came back to the desk, who each had 2, and we like, you know, see that there's 1 left, and we both kind of like we're not feeling good in our stomachs from eating 2 patillos earlier, but B, we were also just like, we're not going to be greedy. Leave it there, okay? 15 minutes goes by, and we're like not paying attention. That patillo disappears. No idea who ate it, right? And so I can account for 3 people at the desk eating these patillos and whittling them down to 5 left. And then all of a sudden, that last patillo disappears and is gone. And we watch Sabrina throw the empty bag away. And then, like,
you're gonna say we watched Sabrina throw up from the.
Funny. No, okay, that would be way better.
Too many patillos for Sabrina. Yeah.
So yeah, we don't think anything of it. And then our new supervisor, this guy who sucks, who I won't name, he comes back to the desk. He's been at the store for like 2 months, the worst. And he is like, "Where are the patillos at?" And we're all like, "Oh, didn't you get one?" They were like at the desk, right? Like you should have grabbed one. You were here while they were here. Like you should have just grabbed one.
You say
no idea where they went.
You say like cartoonishly, like, "Yeah, they were here a second ago." I don't know. Yeah.
No clue on
like,
that one.
Perfect ring of sauce around your mouth.
Yeah. like just covered in grease. Not even like a normal amount of grease for eating 2 patillos.
It's just so funny.
So I'm like, I've got my, like, I'm licking the bag. I'm like, I've got the bag folded inside out and I'm licking it. So he freaks out, right? Like he loses his shit. This is the same guy. I think I explained to you guys that he started finding penis graffiti around the store and started like losing his shit over it.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah, so same guy. So he's freaking out because he's like, "What the fuck? I didn't get my patillo. Like everyone's supposed to get one. These are for the desk. They're not for anybody else. They're only for the desk." And so he's losing his shit.
Yeah.
He's freaking out. And this other girl I work with walks up to the desk and kind of sees that there's like a commotion going on, and she's very nosy, so immediately gets involved. And she also did not get a patillo out of this bag. And so now they are like both in combined arms warfare, like angry as fuck, like yelling about the patillos and like the fact that they were brought for us, not anyone else in the store. Like they have jumped from, like, because I don't know who ate those extra patillos, but we work, our desk is in lumber. It was probably just the 2 people who were working in lumber that day because they hang out at the desk all the time. But they've already jumped like 4 spaces ahead, and they're like, someone from like another department came and took our patillos, and we have to make sure that when food gets dropped here, we like save it for each other because it's not for anybody else.
Like, we're all in this together, don't you see? He starts crying.
Dude,
again, too many times the other desks have gotten our patillos.
Wild. And we're like the only desk that gets food too, so there's an added component.
Electrical department.
Yeah.
Just guaranteed them.
So he is like jumped the gun on it. He's freaking the fuck out. Alex doesn't know that Alex and I had 2 each, and if we hadn't, there probably would have been patillos left for them.
They're like, it was plumbing. They can handle the shits that come after patillos.
But we are just like, we do not budge on the fact that it's like, listen, man, we know that like at this time there were this many patillos left and there should have been enough for everyone, and you should have gotten yours. And like, I even said to him,
"You're just
gaslighting the shit out of him for no reason. This is almost as bad as exposing the secret Sundae kit. You're like, no, you're wrong in this scenario."
I was like, you knew they were here. Why didn't, even if you weren't going to eat it now, just get it and wrap it in a paper towel and like put it in your desk or something. Like you don't just. If you leave them in the bag, it means that they're not yours yet.
So funny. You guys should have been like, I didn't get any Buttery.
Oh, dude, that would have been so killer to just really further the conspiracy that someone took a whole bag of Patelillos were taken from the desk. Well, dude, so here's the thing. Like 20 minutes later, it comes up again. Because
he's still steaming over this.
Dude, so everyone had calmed down.
He's been sitting in a silent rage, like rocking back and forth.
Kind of. Like he didn't say shit.
Yeah, mauling. Yeah.
Like 20 minutes later, this other girl who didn't get one, she's like on lunch at the desk trying to figure out what she's gonna order for food, and she cannot shut the. Every time, like she's just so. I should be careful what I say, but every time she she's like announcing to us what she's thinking about getting, right? And we're not involved. Like we have no reason to know what she's thinking about getting. And every time she like brings up one of the like I should get Wendy's or I should get Popeyes, she has to like remind us that it's because someone ate her patillo, and that's the only reason she has to order food right now. And patillos aren't even that filling. You have to eat 2 to get full off of it, right? I was full. I didn't need
I was full.
So she won't shut.
Rob, aren't you hungry? You didn't
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm on a diet. You know that was.
I had pot A.
I had a pot A
it's a different company.
food. Yeah.
Yeah. So, fucking shit is wacky, and so she gets him in a tizzy again, but this time it's like silent anger. It's like he's like not. He reminds us again that we're a team, and this guy's like a real team. This guy's all about the fact that we're a team, and it's so funny because like he'll like bring up that we're a team in like the most like non-team building moments. There are moments where we are at each other's throat at my job, and he doesn't mention shit about a team. But for something like food getting taken from the desk by bandits, he's like, we're a team. Like this is our territory. We're supposed to watch out for each other right now. And
my electrical bill was really high at my house. I thought we were a team.
Yeah.
Where's my money, guys? I need help.
He walks away from the desk, and this girl gets in a verbal dispute with Alex because Alex just says like, "Hey, stop talking about it." Like it's like you just is being like, "Listen, you don't bring that
to her or to him."
To her,
Oh, okay.
because she keeps bringing it up, and he says to her, he's like, "You never bring food to the desk, so like, don't you have nothing to complain about, like because food, like you only get food, right? Like you don't ever bring it." And she doesn't. She fucking doesn't. Whereas like other people that we work with will buy like pretzel buckets for the desk. Sometimes like this girl I work with, Fawn, will go and buy like 100 pretzels from Philly Pretzel Factory, and just leave them at the desk all day, so anyone in the store can grab them.
That's the ray of your job.
Yeah. Well, and then like Alex's sister came in last week and bought a bunch of shit. She brought donuts for us 3 days in a row, right? Like whatever.
Nice.
So this this girl immediately like pipes up. She is the worst. Like this white rich kid who grew up in King of Prussia, but I guess her dad like lost all their money and divorced. Yeah, grew up in the mall. But she grew up in the King of Prussia area in like a white suburb with money, and when her parents divorced, she like moved to the like ghetto Aramango Ave in Philadelphia, and so she thinks she's hood. It's hysterical. So she pipes up real fucking loud, like so people can hear it away from the desk, and is like, "Listen, your contractors never bring food in here. My contractors are the ones who are buying us pizzas and buying us cheesesteaks and all this shit." And she like tries to use me as leverage because one day her contractor did come in, like one of her guys bought us all food, and it was at the beginning of my diet, and he was getting us pizza, and she made sure, like we never get along, but she made sure to like check in with me and be like, "Is there something else you want to order?" I was like, "Burger with lettuce wrap," right? And she tried to use that against me, against my boy Alex, and I just would not. I just straight up ignored it, didn't get involved. And at this point, Felix comes walking back to the desk with his phone on speaker, talking to the man that brought us patillos, saying, yeah, I don't know what happened. The 10 patillos you brought, they're all gone, and we didn't get any. And the dude on the other end of the phone is like, what do you mean they're gone? He's like taking it seriously too for some reason.
Hold on. To his secretary, he's like, hold on, cancel all my fucking calls.
Cancel my calls. We need to get to the bottom of this. I'm so outraged.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Cancel all my calls.
No idea why he gave a shit at all, but I guess he just like, I don't know what Felix said while they were like away from the desk, but it seemed very staged. Of like, Felix is gonna get him in a tizzy and then walk back to the desk so we can all hear it. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Yeah.
There was one Christmas. I came home to my mom's house. I was really, really stoned. I think it was the day after Christmas. And there was this present that had, it was like near my door to my bedroom, but like, still kind of in an area that's not really suggestive of that, that it was for me at all. But I see this like present and it doesn't have any like to anybody on it. Like, so I just think it's to me. And I like open up this present and it's like really expensive bottle of champagne. And I'm like, whoa,
must be
like,
for me.
I'm like 21 or 22 years old. So I'm like, oh, they must have gotten it for me because I can drink now. This is amazing. And that night I like crack it open and I drink the whole thing.
Nice.
And my mom comes home later that night and she knew it was there. It was for her, very obviously, apparently. Probably the name was on it. I was just so high I missed that. And she knocks on my door and she's like, "Did you take that bottle of champagne?" Like, yeah, I thought that was for me. She was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? That was a gift from my dad. You know how expensive that fucking bottle of champagne was?"
Jesus
I was
Christ.
like, no, she was like, "That's close to $200."
Holy shit.
Oh fuck! I was like, "I'm sorry. I'll give you $200." Like, it's a whole fucking thing.
Damn, that's
what
crazy.
happened.
We
That's
have.
what happens when you're stoned on Christmas, man.
I had the inverse of that, where for New Year's, I was over at my girlfriend's parents' house, and her dad, I guess, he had always wanted this like one specific brand of tequila that is like another like crazy, like something like $250 a bottle, like, and they don't give you much, but like it's supposed to be
Crystal Skull.
not the Crystal Skull. I don't remember what it was. It was I'll actually, you know what, I'll text her right now and ask. But point being that like when we got there was this like vibe, this unspoken vibe of like, yeah, everyone can get a shot of this, but like this is expensive, so like we're not gonna. I want to try and make this last, but. Her dad ended up doing like several shots of it throughout the night, and then just got so generous where he just kept giving all of us shots, and the bottle was gone in like 3 hours. So that's the inverse of that. It was like,
when it was finished, he was like, "Holy fuck! Did we really drink all that?"
Yeah, I'm sure
you guys drink all that.
I'm sure the next morning.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, because the next morning he and my girlfriend's uncle definitely got drunker than like any of us, that was like the most awkward was the quote unquote adults, like all the older people were the more drunk than the 20-somethings who should be like who should be getting shit faced at a New Year's party. But yeah, no, I thankfully haven't had. I've had the inverse of that, where someone was way too generous with their stupidly expensive alcohol.
Love that though.
Look, listen, we're all bad people.
Speaking of like bad people, and also like kind of in the vein of like people just losing their shit, which seems to be what the episode is about. Rob, I messaged you. I messaged the chat about this earlier. I at the time I thought we could make it into like a whole segment, and like maybe we could we could do a recurring thing, but like I found out recently that you go to Planet Fitness. I also go to Planet Fitness, and Planet Fitness is notorious for having just the weirdest fucking gym goers. And I had 2 back-to-back weird moments happen to me today where Anyone who doesn't, I don't know, is like Planet Fitness regional, or are they like all over the country?
I think they're a national thing.
Okay, so like they like anyone who doesn't go to Planet Fitness, they have what's called like they're advertised as like, oh, we're the gym for everybody, like we don't judge, this is a judgment-free zone. But yet they also have something called the lunk alarm, where if someone is like trying too hard, or if they're like grunting loud, or if they're being like too noisy,
you drop
with the
weights on the floor,
they'll set off this alarm to like shame you into being quiet, and it obviously never fucking works, because the people who are going to do that were going to do that anyway. But 9 times out of 10, when I've had that experience happen, like the person like is too loud, the alarm goes off, and then they quiet down a little bit, like it doesn't become a thing. But today, I was on the stationary bike, because that's what I always do when I warm up, and I was kind of near like the deadlifting like equipment, and somebody was going like super hard on the like screaming as he was deadlifting.
Yeah, but by the way, we're talking for anyone who goes to the gym, a Smith machine. It is not even like deadlift. There's no deadlifting. Planet Fitness. It's on a Smith machine, and if you've ever been to like a real gym, Smith machines are just like I will not go near them.
They help you.
I literally refuse. I've gotten in arguments with Jazz and a couple other people because it's like I refuse to squat on a Smith machine. I refuse to deadlift. I don't even want to bench on them. It's like it's an unspoken rule that if you're like actually going hard trying to power lift, you don't touch that shit.
Yeah.
And that's all Planet Fitness has. It sucks. So yeah, you got this guy ripping it on the Smith machine.
He was actually like screaming and shouting like with strain, and like lifting up to like his waist, and then like dropping it from his waist onto the floor. And like they set off, like the staff there were like at the front desk, like they're all on their phones, like they could care less, but like this has been going on for like 5-6 minutes now. Like this is like becoming a problem. I assume some people complained. So like he does this again, where he's like like screaming and deadlifting at the same time, and he drops it, and then the staff set off the lunk alarm, and he loses his shit. It was so fucking funny. They set off the lunk alarm, which is just like a and like a purple light flashes for it's 2 seconds. It doesn't last long. It just goes and then turns off. But so they pull the lunk alarm.
Weird, by the way.
It's weird, but like they pull the lunk alarm on him, and he, like across the this is a good like 50 to 60 feet between this desk and where this guy is. He like turns around and is like, "Oh, really?" Like he ran up to the front desk and started screaming at the front. And I think he left.
This is a man deadlifting a Planet Fitness.
Yeah, like nobody. Nobody was in a position
Nobody's
to like
scared of you.
Yeah, no one, but like but he was big enough to where like people weren't going to be like, "Sir, we're going to have you escorted out," cuz like they don't have like security. He's like there's not bouncers at Planet Fitness. Like no one was going to be able to like throw this guy out. So I think he left and I'm like on the other end of the room. Even though he's screaming, I couldn't make out all what was being said. So like somehow it de-escalated. I guess he left or whatever. But then the other weird thing that happened to me as I was leaving, like, I went up to like one of their paper towel stations where they have like the disinfectant and like you wipe down your equipment after you're done with it. I was wiping down the last machine that I had used for the day before I went to the locker room, and there was this big dude who like he was like in the, like all black like sweats. He had like a hoodie pulled up. Like kind of the strings were like kind of pulled in a little bit too, so like his face was like kind of hidden a little bit. He sprayed like the paper towel down. He like took 2 steps over to the treadmill that I guess he had just gotten off of, wiped it down, still holding the spray bottle, tossed the paper towels into the trash can, and then walked out of the building with the spray bottle still.
That's
and I was what? Yeah, like
I always think it's very funny when people walk to the machine with the spray bottle too. But Yeah, man.
That
the lunk alarm shit. I realized that
it's cringy. It's cringy as shit.
Well, it's definitely cringy.
It is cringy,
and it's been. But like when I went to, because there's no powerlifting gyms in Philly that are less than like $100 a month, and I refuse to spend that right now. And I want a gym in the city, so I can just take the subway to go there. And so Planet Fitness is my best option right now. And the first time I went there, I had a genuine moment of like, huh. So the lunk alarm's a real thing. That's crazy. That's like actually crazy. But then I thought that the lunk alarm was like actually like a fucking alarm that registered decibels.
Yeah.
And would go off on like hitting a certain decibel.
No,
and
it's a manual thing that the people at the front desk have to push.
Because there was one Saturday when I was in there basically alone. There was like no one else there. They were about to close, and the staff at the desk, they were setting off the lunk alarm to let everyone know. It's like, hey, 20-minute warning, 10-minute warning, like that's what they were using it for. But I am a guy who like used to powerlift. I'm freshly back in the gym. I'm really trying to like get my strength again, and I breathe heavy as shit in the gym.
Yeah.
I really breathe loudly in the gym, and
that sound like
I'm not gonna do that right now.
He's just like no. Yeah, like, and that's just him walking in between equipment.
Yeah. So I was breathing very loudly as I do, and the lunk alarm went off twice. Well, the first time it went off, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "I'm the only one in the free weight section. I'm not dropping weights. Like, is my breathing really setting this thing off right now?" And then like later, I realized that it was like, oh, they can turn it on and off. I thought there was only one warning for like the 10-minute warning, right? So I walked out of there still thinking there was a decibel component of the lunk alarm that I had hit with my loud breathing. But then like a week later, I went to the gym, and it was like 6:30 at night. So everyone was there. Like every fucking person is there. You got like 20 people reluctantly doing cardio because there's no space on machines or at the free weights to do any actual lifting. So they're just like walking on the treadmill and hoping that they will see like machines start to open up, right? Not how that works. By the way,
rolling their eyes on the treadmill.
Yeah. Not happy to be there.
I hate this treadmill. It wasn't leg day.
Yeah,
it wasn't leg day.
It wasn't the day where I'm supposed to walk. I rode a unicycle here. Like, so, yeah, I am still under the impression that the lunk alarm is a thing you set off by being loud. And there is this.
No. It is a manual thing, but you set it off by being loud, but it's purely at the discretion of whoever.
I understand. I understand that now because there was this guy.
Rob, you don't get it.
There was this guy on like a back extension machine. He must have been like 72 years old, maybe 73, in street clothes, just full on like khaki pants, a button up like sequin shirt, and a fedora, or like a fedora like hat. Right? I'm not gonna say it was necessarily a fedora, but like fedora like, and
he's imagine a Barney costume, but the top half is missing. He's got that for pants. He's got dinosaur leg pants. A fedora. He's wearing a fucking
loafers. He's got loafers. He's got slinkies.
He's got slinkies hanging off of his tits.
He's got slinkies following him around the gym somehow, defying physics.
He's got a drone filming him at all times.
Yeah, and
he's got a couple slinkies hanging off the rotors of the drones that are just going every which way.
He's got 8 million subs on Twitch. He is like on this back extension machine, just screaming on every rep. Just like inaudible, just shrieking, like, yelling, but not like words. Just like it sounds like he's in pain. But you look over at him, and he's fucking smiling, and he's looking around at all these people.
Nodding the fedora, like it's pulling it down slightly, like
so weird. And the Lunkel arm isn't going off, and I'm like, huh. What the fuck is up with that? Not that this guy is a quote unquote lunk, but he definitely needs to be stopped. Like what? What is going on right now? And that's when I finally like put it together in my head where I was like, there's no way my breathing was as loud as that man is. It's just impossible. It's like comparing a grenade to an atom bomb. Like there's no
slinkies hanging up his tits. Were you wearing a fedora and smiling?
He's flexing so hard that his shirt rips and it's revealed that he has like slinkies for arms.
Muscles,
Like no, it's just pure. Like his hand is like a normal flesh and blood hand, but then from the wrist all the way to the shoulder is just slinkies.
Muscle,
and he's like,
bro. Yeah, and the Planet Fitness people didn't do anything when they really should have. So you know.
I mean, I've seen a guy running on a treadmill while drinking what is very clearly some sort of cola out of a big gulp.
Dude,
I saw it.
There's this like there's an old meme because like when I used to like be
really
hardcore in the gym, we would joke about these other gyms that would get pizza on Fridays.
And my gym does that. Yeah.
My gym gets pizza on Friday.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Does that, yeah.
It's the worst place to try to get fit. It's a horrible environment for actually trying to better yourself. The no judgment thing doesn't work.
The very first, like, the first day I went to Planet Fitness, because like I'd had the membership for a while and I just didn't use it because one of the perks working where I work is that they reimburse a certain amount of your gym membership every month. So I got most of my money back. So I was like, whatever, I don't need to cancel it. I'm just going to get this money back in a paycheck anyway. But the first day that I decided, you know what, I'm actually going to use this membership, I'm gonna go to the gym, I was on a treadmill and I was just dying because I was like, I hadn't gone to the gym in like a year. I was so like out of it. And this fucking girl just like, or I guess like her friend or something was like just off in like a corner on like one of those like fitness mats just doing like sit-ups and like planking and just like stuff that you don't need weights or machinery for. And her friend walks up and like sits down on like this windowsill like ledge next to her and just starts eating a Wendy's 4 for $4. Like and I was like, okay, this is what I've been missing.
There's really, to like put it all in perspective, I think there is a wall. So the gym I used to go to was like not even hardcore, but it was a huge gym with like 3 of every kind of machine, so many free weights, tons of space to deadlift. It was a great fucking gym, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people who were like really fucking hardcore gym bros went there because it was a dope gym. It was like $10 a month. And that gym had inspirational quotes that was like, sweat is just fat crying, and like, you know, all this other, it's cheesy, right? But it's like, it's a little more like it's at least in the neutral side, right?
Yeah.
Planet Fitness, the walls at Planet Fitness say things like, it's like gym class without the annoying guy with the whistle.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw that, I was like,
hold on.
It's like gym class without the guy that actually makes you do gym class. Awesome. There's no motivation there.
There would just be photos of like cheesesteaks and pizza all over the place.
I don't know if it's exactly the same at your Planet Fitness, Rob, but for you, Jake, the lunk alarm, at least because I've gone to 2 or 3 Planet Fitnesses in the past few years, and it always has the same sign over the lunk alarm. It's this tiny blue light that just, like I said, it just goes and spins around once. Like that's all it does. But it has like a dictionary definition. It says lunk alarm, and then below that it says lunk, gives the pronunciation, noun, slang, one who grunts, drops weights, or judges.
It's so broad and so stupid. It's like, here's the thing. It's like, I get it if like I don't know.
Yeah.
If someone's really obnoxious, like
like what Rob and I described
somewhere else.
Like what I think that the only time it's appropriate is for those two scenarios that Rob and I described. Because like if I'm trying to like, if I'm just like doing my thing on the treadmill and I'm trying to like listen to my podcast or my music or whatever, I don't want someone like it sounded like they're giving birth like 20 feet behind me.
Oh, here's the thing, like. Yeah, the issue I see with it just is that like there's already no deadlifting at a Planet Fitness, which sucks. Like they don't have barbells and free weights like that, and
they're like locked into whatever machine that you're using, whatever half power rack you're on.
And listen, when I used to be able to, because I used to be able to deadlift like 500 pounds, when I would deadlift heavy weight. It's like, it's really hard not to slam your fucking weights into the ground when you pick up. Like, it just, the safest thing you can do, in fact, is to let the weight fall in as controlled a manner as possible. And it's not just with deadlifting, but like, you see guys in the free weight area doing like dumbbell chest press. If you want to be doing like, if you're fucking pressing like 200-pound dumbbells, it is in fact safer for you to drop the weights to your side after you're done, because you can tear your fucking shoulder trying to like gently and quietly put that weight on the ground. Exactly. And that's why nobody actually strong goes to Planet Fitness. Okay, there are dudes at my gym that are like decently ripped, but you see them working out with like really low weight, and it's just like, oh man, I'm trying to come to terms with this idea right now that it's like, I will not be able to accomplish any strength gains here. The only hope I have is that I can like make my body look better. Yeah. And that it's like an issue in gyms. I can't get motivation like that. I don't know what your personal goals are, Jacob, but I know that when I go to that place, I feel the inspiration sapped from me. One day, recently, there's a halal cart on my way to the gym. I stopped and got halal. I took it into the gym, and I ate it in the lobby with no shame before I worked out. And guess what? I left early because I was so full from the halal I had just eaten.
I was getting the meat sweats. I wasn't even sweating from working out. I do want to say the one thing I know about deadlifting is like I'm friends with some people who do deadlifting, and they're all about the strength gains, and that's all it looks like is like you do your insane lift and then you drop that shit on the ground and it's fucking heavy as fuck. So of course it falls and it's loud. Like that just seems like the common thing.
And that part of your caveman brain triggers the I make loud noise, I strong.
It does. Yeah. It fucking totally does.
Something to it.
Awesome.
Like, and I used to bench press, and like that rep that if you have a spotter who's like, come on, one more, and you didn't, we're like done. Like no. That last one, a guttural noise will come out of you somewhat. If you're either shaking like fucking insane and like that, or like that, or both, or like that guttural yell is gonna come out. But I feel like that lunk shit should just get the fuck out of there. That lunk alarm, like, I mean, you guys had some pretty good points. It's like there's some fuckers who gotta stop groaning because they're not trying hard enough to be making those noises. Like, I feel like if someone's really trying to like push themselves further, and then you have this thing that's like, you're a lunkhead, like that's like an antithesis to what the gym is in a way. It's like you're all fucking lunkheads. You're at the gym. Like, no offense. Like I work out too. I don't go to the gym. I just don't feel like paying for the gym. But
I truly believe embracing that lifestyle. Because like I don't think I know a handful. Like, when I used to go to this old gym, there were dudes who, we would call twinks. I don't know how, politically correct it is right now, but it's because
it's not.
They had abs. They had like, very low body fat. They looked good, but they were like tiny as shit. There was this one dude we called Twiggy because his calves were so thin you could like literally like fit it in between your index and thumb,
You are a lunkhead. You couldn't even remember what the fuck.
Yeah, and he would wear joggers all the time, and the few times he would wear shorts, it was like really funny. And then he started squatting, and everyone at the gym watched him hurt himself one day trying to squat too much weight. But the point is, those guys sucked. They were horrible to interact with. They thought they were better than everyone because they had like cum gutters and that extra ab on the side, like the lateral ab, you know, because like they just have really fast metabolisms and were like lacrosse players, but they're not going for strength gains. They think they are gym bros, and you know, I was always a quiet guy I was never like whatever, but I was fucking pushing weight at my gym, and like people realized I was pushing weight at my gym, so they realized I wanted to be ignored, and they're like, "Cool, that guy's just doing his own thing." But there's something to be said about being like, "No, I'm gonna like lift more than I did last week, and it's impossible at Planet Fitness." I go in there, I'm really trying to like get my shoulder strength back right now, and I can't. Like I literally can't get off of the plateau I'm starting at right now, and it fucking feels bad. And I look around for motivation, and it's like high school kids, because high schoolers get Planet Fitness for free right now, which sucks ass. It's so annoying.
Oh, wow.
Cool initiative of theirs, but sucks for people like us.
Yeah, dude, it's the worst because these fucking kids come in like packs of 5, and they don't know what they're doing, and they hang out on one machine for like 20 fucking minutes, and I just fucking hate everyone at the gym, I guess, has always been my point behind this whole thing.
Quick comment. You know how you were talking about those, like, you know, I guess those skinnier, like, just kind of chiseled, ripped guys who, like, they're all
aren't strong, yeah.
It's funny, because I remember taking, like, I've taken, like, a jiu-jitsu class back in the day, and, like, you know, like, some other fighting class, I don't know what, but there are like those guys in there, and it's there is like, I was at one long enough to see like one of those guys kind of like be humbled and be like, oh, like a strong guy like doesn't need to look like that at all. And it's funny, like now my interpretation of like, if I see a really, you know, chiseled guy or whatever, not that I'm thinking of who can I beat up or whatever, but it's like I recognize, like I'll look at a man and be like, oh yeah, he's probably tough, or like he probably has some weight behind like a hit or something. I don't know, I'm a psycho, but like the guys who like who I'm like they're really strong are like the kind of like the stockier guys, like who are like Butterball or whatever, or Butterbean, like that guy, whatever his name is, the dude who like beat up Johnny
Butterbean,
like,
I think,
Butterbean, yeah. I'm just like that's a tank of a man, like that person could lift like so much. Anyway, I sound like a fucking douchebag.
No, dude, listen. If you see a man on the street who's like 3% body fat and like really ripped, he's probably not very strong because he's dehydrating himself to maintain such a low level of body weight. Like, you know,
it's me eating a chili dog, like 10 chili dogs deep, and the strongest fucking guy on earth at that point.
That's
like,
real
fucking,
strength.
Like I just saw a news article today even where like Chris Hemsworth, like apparently he got like the most like physically like like what you were just saying, Rob, where like he like is dehydrating himself, so he has like just that little bit extra muscle definition or whatever, like for the new Thor movie. And like everyone in his life was like, dude, like he joked where he's like, all the guys were like, oh hell yeah, man, gains, but all the like the women, like his wife and all that, were like, oh dude, like that's like, why are you doing that to yourself? That's kind of disgusting.
Now, Chris, how are you gonna lift up that hammer?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
yeah.
He shit, what was I gonna say? There is only one exception for this theory, I guess I'm crafting right now, and that is Hugh Jackman on steroids doing the Wolverine, where he was literally like dehydrating himself for months, and every day on set was like pumping himself full of steroids and doing dumbbell curls with like 80-pound weights in between takes, just to keep his bicep pump. Exactly. And that's the year he deadlifted like 700 pounds at like 170 or 180 pounds of body weight, which is really fucking impressive, even on steroids. Yeah, he's the one exception. I love Hugh Jackman.
Stallone had said like right around the time that he did, it was like right in between Rocky 3 and the first Rambo movie, he said it was like the most physically fit he'd ever been, and like same thing, just like no body fat at all, like all just pure muscle. And he had said that like to like maintain that for like the fight scenes and all that, in like because how they would do those movies is they do the fight scene immediately because that's like what the whole movie's building up towards, and then if there's anything that it's lacking, then they have the whole rest of the film schedule to go back and fix it. But then the problem is that he has to maintain that physique throughout the entire movie on the off chance that they have to go back and fix something in the fight later. And he had said that like his diet was like coffee to like keep himself like an obscene amount of coffee a day to keep himself like awake, because he's also like directing and acting at the same time, like a shit ton of fish for the protein, and like and like fish pills like for the rest of like his like nutrient supplements.
Yeah.
And he had said that like by the end of like, because he did Rocky 3 and then he did First Blood immediately after that, and he was like, I was hospitalized for a little while after those two films because I was having like mercury poisoning from like just the shitty diet I was maintaining to like look like I was this ripped all the time.
People
Can you
go
imagine
hard,
his
man.
breath, by the way?
His like coffee and fish.
Fuck.
Yeah.
His breath in
So
general,
gross.
like, he just seems like a guy with really bad dad breath.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So completely
Alrighty, guys. Anything
com-
else?
Well, completely unrelated, but I found the alcohol. I just put it in the forum. It was the alcohol my girlfriend's dad was giving us was Don Julio 1942. It was like $200 bottle of whiskey, or not whiskey, tequila. It was really fucking good.
I mean, not great. Now that we have that info, I think we can go.
Exactly.
And if you want
That's
to,
what we were
if
waiting
you want
for,
to get yourself
everyone.
a bottle, go to donjulio.com.
DonJulio.com
Use promo
/
code
Buttery mails. Yeah.
And yeah,
Do we want what? How long have we been going? Like an hour and 20?
yeah, we're pretty good.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
I'm ready to.
All
I'm
right.
ready to leave.
I feel bad that we didn't get to Rob's conspiracy shit, but I guess tune in next week and we'll
This
hear
wig is
all
itchy.
that. Yeah.
All right, Rob. Did not do any of this. Did not try and be like, we're not gonna do this conspiracy theory tonight. I actually, you guys, you did that to yourself, Rob. You put me on the Ray story. I didn't even want to say it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to.
Jacob did
I didn't
that,
want to do
but-
Ray dirty like that. No.
Jacob did that, but before Jacob like called you out on it, I was thinking about how I can call you out on it. So,
R.I.P. Ray.
yeah, R.I.P. Angels in the Sky with Diamonds.
Ray in peace, Ray.
So, any plugs, boys?
Watchless podcast. Listen to that in all the same places you can listen to this, and check out all of our appearances that we've done on other people's podcasts. We've also had them on as guests, like
Yep.
34, Bottled Up Bitches, all that shit.
Go back through our catalog and do not listen before episode like 25. Follow us on Instagram. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. You can check us out on YouTube where we're posting video content, which we should be at least.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, cool. We are.
We
So,
are. Yeah.
subscribe to us on YouTube. You can pretty much, do whatever you want with the information we've given you, and yeah, I guess tell your friends about us.
I guess. Yeah. I mean,
guess.
we have enough listeners. We don't really need.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
honestly,
kidding.
I think if more people start listening, it might ruin the vibe. So
We have that niche success right now. We don't really need more. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, you're all clamoring at our every word. Alrighty, well, see you.
Thanks for tuning into
Bye-bye.
this episode of Internet Mad Buttery Mails.